Greetings, YouTubers, and hope everybody's having a good Saturday, and welcome to my 25th TTM video. Yes, I finally got mail. It's been a while since I got anything good in the mail, so I will share it. Some purchases I got finally that came in, a total of 3 purchases, and let's start off with those. The first purchase is a legend. It's for my Hall of Fame postcards for football. This guy was probably the greatest, or one of the 3 greatest centers of all time, and that is Mr. Mike Webster. Had to get that. Micah Lewis Webster Mike. From 1952 when he was born until he passed away in 2002, one of the greatest centers in football history, if not the greatest. Was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1997. He was a University of Wisconsin grad. In the 1974 draft, he was selected in the 5th round by the Pittsburgh Steelers with the 125th pick, and that turned out to be a great one. He played with the Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. His career lasted from 1974 to 1990. 4 times he was a Super Bowl champ, 9 times a Pro Bowler. Made the NFL's 75th and 100th anniversary all-time teams. Played in 245 games, started 217 of them, and 6 fumble recoveries. He's a member of the Wisconsin Athletic Hall of Fame as well as the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Sadly, his life ended awful. He had amnesia, dementia, and depression. He would just disappear, and his family lived out of his pickup truck or in train stations, even though former teammates and friends offered to pay his rent on apartments. Terry Bradshaw regularly covered his expenses for him and his family, but he would just disappear. This guy even glued his teeth in. He took glue and glued them in his mouth. Doctors estimate all the hits he took from high school to the pros is almost equal to over 25,000 car crashes. This guy tragically died in 2002. He was one of the great players of all time. Happy to get that. Another one I was happy to add to my collection is this postcard. Randy White. Yes, Randall Lee White. Randy. Born January 15th, 1953 in Pittsburgh, PA. 67. Went to Thomas McKean High School in Delaware. Delaware's greatest football player ever. Attended the University of Maryland. In the 1975 draft, he was selected in the 1st round with the 2nd pick by the Dallas Cowboys. Pick number 1 by the Atlanta Falcons was Steve Bartkowski. Cal. A good player, too. Randy played from 1975 to 1988. In the draft, he was picked ahead of Ken Huff, a guard out of the University of North Carolina who was selected number 3 by the Colts, and number 4 was a running back selected by the Chicago Bears out of Jackson State by the name of Walter Payton. Randy White won 1 Super Bowl, Super Bowl 12. He was co-MVP that year with Harvey Martin as they beat up the Denver Broncos in New Orleans. He made the Pro Bowl 9 times, made the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team. He was ACC Player of the Year in 1974. He had 52 sacks in his career with 1 interception. Is in the Dallas Ring of Honor, College Football Hall of Fame, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And the 3rd pick I got, 3rd pickup, is another postcard. This is of Hall of Famer Ron Mix. Ronald Jack Ron Mix, born in 1938. He's 82, born in Los Angeles. Offensive tackle, went to USC. In the 1960 draft, he was selected in the 1st round with the 10th pick by the Baltimore Colts. However, in the AFL draft, he was selected number 1 overall, so he decided to play in the AFL. Played with the Chargers from 1960 to 69, retired briefly in 1970, came back in 1971, and wanted to be traded to the New York Jets. However, the Raiders got him. The Chargers traded him to the Oakland Raiders. While playing football, he also received a law degree from the University of San Diego in 1970. He was an AFL champ in 1963, 8-time AFL All-Star, made the AFL's all-time team, is in the Chargers Football Hall of Fame, the National Jewish Sports Hall of Fame, and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Was the 2nd AFL player inducted into Pro Football's Hall of Fame. Lance Allworth was the first. and he played 142 games in his career. So another one to add to the collection there. Now, what came in the mail? Finally, this one took 3 months. There was no fee. It came from North Carolina. And it was a 2 of 2. He put both cards in the one sleeve. He kept one sleeve, but all right. That's Mr. Mike Jaminski, the G-Man. Signed the Nets card and the Sixers card there. I didn't know if I was ever going to get this one back. This guy's a graduate of Duke. He set all kinds of records while he was at Duke, which have since been broken. He's 61, born in August 1959 in Monroe, Connecticut. Went to Duke, as I said, was a first-team All-American, was the ACC Player of the Year in 1979. In the 1980 NBA draft, he was picked in the first round, 7th overall by the New Jersey Nets. He played in the NBA from 1980 to 94, mostly with the Nets. Then he played with the 76ers, the Charlotte Hornets, and finished up with the Milwaukee Bucks. He scored 10,953 points at 11.7 a game, had 6,480 rebounds, about 6.9 a game, and 1,203 assists, about 1.3 a game. He's in the National Polish American Sports Hall of Fame. Again, this took 3 months. There was no fee, and he lives in North Carolina. So thank you, G-Man. I thought that was gone. Next one came in 9 days. There was no fee. This one came from South Dakota, although I mailed it to Iowa. He even sent my letter back. He signed all of it, though, everything. Signed the 2 cards, 1976 Topps there, 1975 Topps, and he signed the old index card, and that's Mr. Vern DeHerter. Vern Wayne DeHerter. Yes, Wayne is his middle name. I thought Den was, but born in November 1948 in Lamars, Iowa. He's 71. He went to Central Iowa, majored in chemistry. Newsman Harry Smith was his teammate at Central Iowa as well, so a little bit there. In the 1971 NFL Draft, he was selected in the 9th round, 230th overall by the Dolphins. Played his whole career in Miami from 1971 to 82, twice winning the Super Bowl. Of course, the undefeated 17-0 year in 1972. As you can see, he signed 17-0 on each of them. I thank him for that. He played in 2 other Super Bowls, losing in Super Bowl 6 to the Cowboys, the Dolphins did, and then Super Bowl 17 when they lost to Washington out in Pasadena. Don Shula actually asked him to come back that final year when they went to the Super Bowl. He was going to retire. He's a member of the College Football Hall of Fame. Again, this was 9 days, no fee, signed everything, so thank you, Mr. DeHerter. The third TTM I got came from California, and this took 7 days. Mr. Virgil Carter, former quarterback with the Bengals, signed these 2 cards, and he also included $1 million. Yes, he signed that $1 million bill. It was quite nice of him to do that. Here's the million, and move it over just a wee bit so you can see the cards as well. I didn't send him the million. Virgil Carter, 74, is born in November 1945 in Annabella, Utah. Attended BYU. In the 1967 NFL Draft, he was picked in the 6th round by the Chicago Bears with the 142nd pick. Started out with the Bears, then went to Cincinnati, where he played most of his career, under the tutelage of a guy by the name of Bill Walsh, was the offensive coordinator there. Played in the USFL with the Chicago Fire, and also played with the San Diego Chargers before finishing back up with the Bears. His career lasted from 1968 to 76. He threw 29 touchdowns, 5,063 yards. And while he was with the Bengals, he taught statistics and mathematics at Xavier University in Cincinnati. So he was nice enough to sign all the Topps cards and included the $1 million bill there. So I do thank Mr. DeHerter. I wish that was real, but that's okay. And the 4th TTM I got came from Maryland. This was 7 days. There was no fee. That's Mr. Tom Maddie. He signed the 2 cards that I sent him, and he also signed the index card there as well. That was nice of him. Thomas Rowland, Tom Maddie, is 81, born in June 1939 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Attended Ohio State. In the 1961 NFL Draft, was picked in the first round, 7th overall by the Baltimore Colts, where he played his whole career from 1961 to 72. Was an NFL champion in 1968. Yes, NFL. That's when they went to the Super Bowl to play the AFL champ Jets, who they lost to. Did win a Super Bowl in Super Bowl V, beating the Colts beat the Dallas Cowboys in what some consider the worst Super Bowl ever played. Twice made the Pro Bowl. He rushed for 4,646 yards, had 249 receptions for 2,869 yards. In 1965, he played emergency quarterback. That's because the first stringer, Johnny Unitas, got hurt. The second stringer got hurt. Don Shula put him in, put a wristband on him with the plays, and they beat the Rams in the regular season finale and wound up losing. He was the quarterback in their playoff game against the Packers when they lost 13-10 in overtime. And that armband, I believe, is in the Hall of Fame now. He still holds the highest Super Bowl rushing yard per carry average, 10.5. He rushed 11 times for 116 yards against the Jets in Super Bowl III, although they lost. So, nice record that he still holds. But again, he signed everything. Nice card there, Little Legends, and he signed the one right there, Tops, and even signed the index card, so I was happy with that as well. And this next one came in. It is a 8x10. The fifth one that came in came all the way from Illinois. 8 days, there was no fee. Great pickup right here, if I can get him in the picture. And that's Mr. Gary Fensick. Yes, John Gary Fensick goes by his middle name. 66, born in June 1954 in Chicago. Attended Yale. Yes, he's a Yalie. In the 1976 NFL Draft, he was picked in the 10th round with the 281st pick by the Miami Dolphins. He ruptured his left lung in a preseason game against the Saints and was released by the Dolphins and picked up by the Bears, so they did a smart thing. Played his entire career in Chicago from 1976 to 87. Twice went to the Pro Bowl. Of course, was on the Super Bowl 20 team that defeated the Patriots. He was voted one of the 100 greatest Bears of all time. Was a defensive captain for the Bears. He had 1,102 tackles, 38 picks, and a touchdown. And he inscribed it to me, put my name up there. That's great. He said, "Go Bears." And he put his number with his name and Super Bowl 20 champs, just like I asked. So that was perfect. Nice way to get some mail finally. And this last one came in California. It was 7 days. This gentleman requires usually, I think, $5 per card. So I sent him 10 for this ball. And that is Mr. Don Buford. Signed the ball. Donald Alvin Don Buford is 83, born in February 1937 in Linden, Texas. Played at USC under Rod Dito. His teammates on the 1958 College World Series champs were Ron Fairley, who played in the major leagues, and Pat Gillick became a Hall of Fame executive. He also played running back on USC's football team as well. He played in the majors from 1963 to 72 with the White Sox, the Orioles, and then played in Japan from 1973 to 76. He hit .264 career-wise, 93 homers, 418 runs batted in, made the All-Star team in 1971, won the World Series in 1970 when the Orioles beat the Reds, played in 3 straight World Series, 1969 when they lost to the Mets, 70, and 71 when they lost to the Pirates. He's in the Orioles Hall of Fame. Again, he requires about $5 per card. I sent him 10 for the ball, and I asked him to inscribe World Series champs on it, which he did right there on the bottom. So great pickup to add to the old ball collection there. And that's what I got in the mail today. So I want to thank you all for watching. If you have any comments, any ideas you think you'd like to say, go ahead and say it. I love comments. I love to try to respond back to everybody. Any way you think I can make the channel better or worse, I don't know. Hopefully not worse, but everybody stay safe. Take care. And again, if you need any addresses, if I can help, please do. Contact me. I'd be happy to give them out. And we'll say tonight or today, good night, North Carolina.